By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured, as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do were drowned.
Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And in this lesson, all right, I wanted to go over Esau, Edom being the modern-day Pharaoh, all right, as we embark, all right, on our deliverance out of this modern-day Egypt, all right, which all of these things are prescribed in the Holy Scriptures, all right. But again, line must be up on line, precept must be up on precept, all right, here a little, there a little, and ultimately the Heavenly Father has given us the free gift of faith, all right, and along with that, the understanding of the volume of the book to go into these things and bring them out, all right, because for years, you know, many of us, you know, acted or thought we believed in the Bible, and we would read these things and we would never tie it, you know, to the situation we're in now, all right, but that's one of the gifts that we've been given in these latter days, all right, the gift of understanding, comfort, all right, the comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, all right, as it is written in the book of John, 14th chapter. It's a very beautiful chapter, okay. John 14:16, and I will pray the Father, and he will give you another comforter. This is Yahweh Shai speaking of his role in opening up the understanding, all right, to the men who he sent to teach. You see, because when he was on the earth, he was literally with them, opening their understanding. All right, but now that he's on the right-hand side of the Father, he sends the understanding, all right, in the form of what? The Comforter. It says, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another Comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. See, the world would not be able to receive this, starting with the world of Israel. All right, a mass majority of the people who are calling themselves Israelites, all right, they there's a lot of things that they can't get down with, that they refuse to, you know, hearken to. You know, they'll take pieces from this camp, pieces from that camp, but overall, when it comes to the full truth of the matter, they got a problem with it. You see, they can't fully come in because there's particular things that are ultimately blocking them. You see, so the world would not receive the Spirit of truth, starting with the world of Israel, but this world as a whole as well, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless. Jumping down to verse 25, these things have I spoken unto you. Make that red, being yet present with you. You see, I told you these things while I was present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. All right. Peace I leave with you. See, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. All right, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. You see, so we have been given peace, all right, through the understanding of these scriptures amongst all of this chaos. All right. Let's get Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, and then we'll get into the lesson. Ecclesiastes 4:1. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. See? And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Well, the Lord has, preserved a remnant who would be comforted. See? And now the enemy no longer has power over us, which is why he's moving with great fervency to establish his NWO, because he understands that what we have received from on high, all right, will ultimately be used under the blood of Yahweh Shai to overcome everything that he stands for and everything that he's trying to accomplish. So we're no longer marching, we're no longer voting, we're no longer leaning upon the so-called white man or this world, all right, for comfort. We now lean on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and we've been given so much more than this world could ever give us, as Yahweh Shai lets us know here. Peace I leave with you. See, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. The world gives in, a carnal fashion. You can get pleased sexually, you can get money, good food, which all of those things are given unto us as well to aid us as we go through this captivity. All right. But what we've received is something that this world could never give unto us. I'm very interested to see what this word peace is in the Greek. Irene. All right. State of national tranquility, exemption from the rage and havoc of war, peace between individuals. All right. And we are now being, set at peace with our power again, security, safety, prosperity, felicity, because peace and harmony make and keep things safe and prosperous. Of the Messiah's peace, the way that leads to salvation of a follower of Yahweh Shai, the tranquil state of a soul assured of its salvation, see, through Yahweh Shai, and so fearing nothing from the Most High, and content with its earthly lot. See, we're at peace with our earthly lot. We're at peace with where we are. We're no longer striving. Now I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to have this. I got to have that. We're no longer stuck to these wicked, holy days and traditions that this world, we're at peace through this word. And that's one of the key things that you cannot, all right, you should be thanking the Lord every day for the peace we've been given through the understanding of this word, and teachers sending, the teachers being sent. All right. Because again, the Lord said, I will send you pastors. Let's get Jeremiah 3:15. All right. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. As it says in Isaiah 30, your eyes will see your teachers and tell you a way to walk, which would ultimately be used as a way for you to be led to salvation. But it would also give you peace and understanding of this book and understanding of the things that are happening around you. All right. And the word comforter, okay, the word comforter, real quick, is
Strong's G 3875. Parakletos. Parakletos.
all right, summoned, called to one side, called to one's aid. We've been aided through the Holy Spirit. And when the Lord sends you pastors, he's sending you Yahweh Shai's friends that have been given the understanding of the secrets. All right. It says one who pleads another calls an intercessor, that's Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says, pleading with the Father to pardon us, in a wide sense, a helper, a succor, an aider, an assistant, okay, of the Holy Spirit, destined to take the place of Yahweh Shai with the apostles after his ascension to the Father, to lead them to a deeper knowledge of the truth and give them divine strength needed to enable them to undergo trials and persecutions on behalf of his divine kingdom. Okay, so to lead them to a deeper understanding of the gospel and to give them the divine strength all right, to undergo trials and to be at peace in those trials, man. All right, that is something, all right, as the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of their time. That is something many of our people don't have. All of these people in this world outside of the elect, okay, they're not going to be comforted as this world collapses. See, because we understand that just like ancient Egypt, it had to be plagued. We had to be exiled out of that place in order to go where the Lord wanted us to be. Well, it's the same situation here, but it's going to be in an even greater fashion. So this is the book of Jeremiah, the 16th chapter and the 14th verse. Therefore, all right, as you see here, the Most High will restore them. Okay, restore who? Judah and Ephraim. All right, southern kingdom Judah, northern kingdom Ephraim back together. Okay, this is what you have to understand. All right, the kingdoms have been split. See, and when you go into the history, all right, which Lord willing, we'll get into that history. All right, we as the nation of Israel have been split for a long time. All right, but brought into this final captivity, starting here in Babylon the Great, to be what? Reunited. Okay, with each other, of course, with our power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua, with each other. All right, and understanding, which is a fulfillment of the tabernacle of David being rebuilt. Because the last time we had a sovereign government, the last time that we were together, all right, all 12 tribes, was under King David, which Solomon forwarded that kingdom for 40 years. So when you read Acts, all right, and after that 40 years, Solomon went off, and eventually the kingdom was rent. All right, we were split and separated into two kingdoms. All right, and from there, the northern kingdom came over here to the Americas. All right, which is why when you go into history, there's all kind of artifacts over here. Columbus himself had a Hebrew interpreter. All right, a lot of people, who came over here to study the people that were here. The northern tribes, they came to the conclusion that these were Israelites. Many books and understanding on that. All right, and then eventually, after Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were kicked out of Rome in 70 AD, we were scattered into Europe, various parts of Africa, primarily West Africa, right? And from there, all right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, with some of the northern kingdom as well, were brought over here, okay, to the Americas on slave ships. All right, and when you get that, let's get Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And the 68th verse, the final curse spoken here. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, bondage. All right, the word Egypt, when we go into its original, all right, because Egypt is a Greek word. The true understanding of that, all right, is matazarium. All right, matazarium, which means, all right, double straits. All right, double straits. All right, dual of matazawar. All right. All right, and I remember hearing someone, I believe one of the apostles, say, that word massa. All right, that's pretty much Jake. All right, speaking to his slave master, massa, goes back to Matazarium, which is Egypt. So we were brought into Egypt again, in a spiritual sense, on ships. All right. By the way, all right, I spake there unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. We as a nation would not see our land again, with all 12 tribes in agreement, until the Lord restored us there. And there shall you be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And this word, no man shall buy you, because clearly if we would be sold is a past tense of someone who sells something. If you sell something, all right, later on that person who you sold it to would say, all right, this man sold me this. All right, so you cannot have been sold without someone selling you. So a lot of people get tripped out on this word, no man shall buy you. When you go into the understanding of that word, no man shall buy you. All right, the Hebrew word is kana, and the simple understanding, all right, is what? Redeeming his people. We would not be redeemed by men. Okay? The Most High God, Yahweh, would send us a Savior. And Jake has followed many men in the sense of this man is going to lead us out of captivity. All right. Well, it has not happened. Okay. Richard Pryor, not Richard Pryor, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Richard Pryor. There's been many men who've been raised up as these messianic figures. And yet Jake is still in captivity. But through this understanding, we now see, okay, this is the way. See? And we were brought into Egypt again with ships. Okay? And again, let's go back here. This is the final captivity. Okay? We will be delivered out of Egypt. Okay? Jeremiah 16:4. All right? The Most High will restore us. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Now, we just did a Passover ceremony, all right, where we were celebrating our Lord delivering us out of Egypt. All right, the blood over the doorpost representing the blood of Yahweh Shai, who was that angel that was sent to deliver us out of Egypt. And remember, all right, even for you Torah-only Israelites, it was an angel sent by the Most High to deliver us out of Egypt, as we'll show you. It wasn't the Most High himself, but the Most High, of course, gets the credit, but it was his right hand, his holy arm that was sent to deliver us out of that captivity. Okay? That's even how Joshua, Caleb, and them were winning those wars, because that angel was going before them. See? So the days are coming when we're no longer going to talk about the deliverance out of the land of Egypt. See? But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. Okay, the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he have driven them. And I will bring them again into a land that I gave their fathers. So we would be brought out of a new Egypt, which is now called here the land of the north. It goes under many code names. This is Babylon the Great. See, the land of the north. And let's get this real quick, Jeremiah 3. After the Lord will send us pastors according to his heart. All right. Just jump to the point, Jeremiah 3:18, because in 15, he will give us pastors according to his heart, which would feed us with the understanding we needed. Okay, because again, the new song being sung is what? Sung for the purpose of not only us getting the understanding, but for prophecy coming to pass, which leads to us being delivered. Okay? Verse 18 in that same chapter says, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. All right, which letting you know this is a fulfillment of the tabernacle of David, Judah and Ephraim being linked back together. The reunion. See? The house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north. All right, to the land that I have given as an inheritance to your father. So the main deliverance is going to be here in the land of the north. This is that new Egypt. Although we know in what we just read, he's not only going to deliver us from the land of the north, all right, but also from the various different lands where we have been scattered. But the main deliverance where Judah and Ephraim are here together is the land of the north. As the scriptures say, Judah, all right, and Ephraim were oppressed together. See, so this land of the north is this modern day Egypt, which is fulfilled. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get Revelation, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. All right. Revelation 11 and 8, our final captivity, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this would be a spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right. And we know why it's spiritually Sodom. Okay, and we should know now why it's spiritually Egypt. Look at the back of your dollar bill. You see the Eye of Horus. Okay, it reminds us that we are in Egypt again. We are in a position of difficulty. Egypt, Matazarian, meaning what? Double straits. All right. Double afflict. We're in hell. Okay. And in there, all right, we will be looked at as dead bodies because we will be detached from the understanding. See, and when you understand this, their dead bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. It's a freaky captivity, basically. All right. Ezekiel 37 tells you what? All right, that the dry bones will be in a dead state in the valley, all right, as dry bones, which a valley is a low land, right? Well, is not America a low land? Okay. Very, very low in spiritual sense, right? So the valley where these dry bones, these dead bodies were lying dead, all right, is the same place that is talked about in Revelation 11, Jeremiah 16. This is that place where Judah and Ephraim, all right, will be reunited. See? And when you read this chapter, they go from dry bones to the Lord sending them prophets. Okay? Ezekiel 37 and 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? So I answered and said, Lord God, thou knowest. And he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Okay, so again, letting you know that these bones weren't dead in a, like they was back in the spiritual world, but they were dead because they were what? Detached from the understanding. Okay, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So you have to understand, Judah and Ephraim had been separated and went through many, many captivities, okay, only to wind up, all right, back together, all right, in this spiritual Egypt, but now they don't have the understanding. See? But within this captivity, the Lord will send us prophets. Okay? And within this captivity, we're going to show you that the modern day leader, the modern day Pharaoh of this captivity is the Edomites. All right? Before it's all said and done. So let's get through this real quick. So the Lord sends Ezekiel, which means strength of the power, to prophesy unto these bones, which Ezekiel is symbolizing the prophets as we're here in the Americas in this dead state. The Great Awakening will primarily take place here. The prophecy is centered around Babylon the Great. Okay? That's why when you look at the 12 tribe sign, it's fixated upon the tribes, all right, in this northwestern hemisphere, all right, but primarily here in Babylon the Great. We understand that there are Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but the Great Awakening would take place amongst the 12 tribes of Israel who were here in the Americas, America, Babylon the Great. And from the dead state through the preaching of the word, all right, Ezekiel 37:7, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, family coming together. Okay, us becoming, understanding certain things. All right, and then ultimately the dead body lived. Okay, the dead body lived. Okay, Ezekiel 37:10, the dry bones. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up on their feet. So they came out of that dead state through what? The prophets, the leaders, the pastors, according to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai's mind. See, in this vision, okay, is what? The reunion of Judah and Israel, as they would be in this modern day Egypt, this modern day captivity, all right, which a lot of them will be brought over here on ships, all right, The northern kingdom came over here on ships. All right. But the southern kingdom, which when you go into the, records, there were a lot of so-called Native Americans on those slave ships as well. All right. But it was just that the so-called black slave, all right, was more sought after. All right. Because a lot of the northern kingdom they would die off, due to sicknesses. And it's just the order of things. So the so-called black slave was highly sought after. All right. But you did have some of the northern kingdom on those ships as well, man. Okay. But it was primarily what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi fulfilling the very prophecy that we read. And there's a lot of people who are coming with this gospel and this doctrine that, well, America is the promised land. We were already here. Well, yeah, there were tribes already here because pursuant to, Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, all right, the northern kingdom left the Assyrian captivity and came to a land, all right, where never mankind dwelt. And when you go into that word dwelt, I forget where I found it. It also could mean to govern because people had been here. All right. But that's an ongoing argument. People are saying, well, no, they went to Africa. It took them 1.5 years to get from, all right, the Assyrian from, Iraq, that area of Iraq to Africa. No, absolutely not. All right. But again, this all is being done to reunite Judah and Israel. And that's happening. And we're kind of foreign to one another. It's kind of weird. All right. But ultimately, once the spirit is added, all right, you see that these are my people. Right. But we've been separated for so long. And as we were here amongst each other, all right, what was it? Gangs, rap, drugs. We were still at odds with one another. We didn't look at each other as, okay, this is my people. We were just caught up in those ghettos, okay, living amongst one another, not understanding why we were in this situation and what's going to happen next. Now we know through the Holy Spirit. All right. And then as you keep reading, it goes into the 12 tribes chart. All right. Being presented. And that will be, all right, one of the things that will bring the tribes together. Now, let's go back to Revelation 11, all right, and 8, which pretty much is giving you the same story that we just read in Ezekiel 37, all right. Their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, okay, and boy, oh boy, there are many customs, all right, that prove that we are in Egypt. As a matter of fact, there's a video I did. See what we have here. Go to my videos and Dr. Brown, Egypt. All right. This is one of the more recent ones I did. If you want to check this video out, I go into some of the comparisons.
Shalom.
All right, between Egypt and America. No, this ain't the one. Salakia. No, that ain't the one. That's a good one, though, but this is the one I'm talking about. Sorry. That's a good one, too. Hold up. This is what I'm talking about right here. Various topics, Dr. Brown and Lincoln America, ancient Egypt. I may reload it, but in this, wow, let's enter modern day Egypt. Well, yeah, women's rights go back to Egypt. Shaving goes back to Egypt. Fishnet stockings, certain sports go back to Egypt. Archery, bowling, beer, condoms, yeah, all of that is, sex toys, okay, which today is called a dildo. All these things go back to Egypt. It's interesting how they sectioned it off by the topics. AI did that because I didn't do it. Anyway, so check that out. So going back here to Revelation, the 11th chapter, The Israelites will be in a dead state in this spiritual Sodom in Egypt. And as they were in that dead state, all right, the people who rule over them, all right, they will rejoice. All right, they would make merry and send gifts to one another, because these two prophets, all right, the Revelation 11 and 10, and they that dwelt upon the earth shall rejoice over them when they're in this dead state, and make merry and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. So these two prophets would torment them. All right. And who does that go back to? When we were ruling, all right, as all 12 tribes together under King David, what was the common thing? The Edomites were our servants, all of the heathen. Okay? All of the heathen. All right, First Chronicles 18 and 13, and he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became David's servants. The Lord preserved him wherever he went. Okay, so David reigned over all Israel. This was when all 12 tribes were together. We weren't two tribes. We weren't two kingdoms. See, the goal is the Lord is going to make us one kingdom again. And again, this was the last time under King David, which Solomon forwarded that kingdom, which is why in Acts, the first chapter, okay, Acts, the first chapter, the disciples asked Yahushua this. Let's read it in the NLT. Acts 1 and 6 in the NLT, it says, so when the apostles were with Yahushua, they kept asking him, Lord, has the time come for you to free Israel and restore our kingdom? All right, restoring our kingdom goes back to what we had, all right, as Solomon forwarded, all right, the throne of David for 40 years. And this is what's getting ready to be established back in the earth today. The throne of David, all 12 tribes ruling under Yahushua. You see? Now, as we were in this captivity, so these heathen remember how we tormented them and how we ruled over them. That's what it means by these two prophets, which the two witnesses represent Judah and Ephraim, and particularly the elect from amongst them. But after 3 days and a half, which goes through a period of 1619 to about the 1960s, after that's 350-year period, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell on them which saw them. See, and from there, all right, as we're standing on our feet, that's tied to what? Prophesying, prophets going out, the 12 tribes chart being presented. That's what's all talked about here in Ezekiel the 37th chapter. All right. That's what happens. Judah and, Israel being reunited. Okay. Ezekiel 37 and 17, and join them together on one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of Israel shall speak unto thee, saying, will thou show us not what thou meanest by this? All right. As a matter of fact, Ezekiel 37 and 16, moreover, son of man, take thee one stick and write on it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions, and take thee another stick and write up on it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. So take you a stick, which this word stick means a plank of wood, itazah, tree, wood, stick, plank, sticks, gallows, wood, and that's primarily what we write the names of the tribes on those 12 tribes chart, right? Okay, you write all of the tribes, okay, and you join all of the tribes together on that stick, and they shall be one in thy hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, will thou not show us what thou meanest by these? See, and that's happening now. We're fulfilling ultimately something we weren't born, all right, with the understanding of these. We just fulfilled it, right? Say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and put them even with him, even with the stick of Judah, and I will make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks wherein thou writest the tribes on shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And is not that happening? So either you believe it or you don't. You see? And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation. See? And the land primarily, all right, that we would be gathered out of is the land of the north, all right, which is this new Egypt. So as we were in this Egypt, what was going on? We were catching hell. We were in slavery. As the scriptures say, he will wear out the saints. Okay? Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. This is what Esau has done, the new Pharaoh. And shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand a time, and a dividing of time, that 350-year period where we had no understanding of who we were. And what did Esau do during that time along with the heathen? They got rich off of free labor. Could you imagine having 200, close to 300 some years of free labor? Of course you'd be rich. Of course you'd be on the top. See? But they shall wear out the saints. This word wear out in the Hebrew, okay? And boy, his science, everything he's doing, he's speaking great words against the Most High. But this word wear out, bala, is what? To wear away, to harass constantly. And the Israelites are harassed constantly, all right, over here and all throughout the four corners of the earth, but mainly over here. This was the main bulk of the captivity. Just like when we were in ancient Egypt, okay, when we were in ancient Egypt, all right, when Moses and Aaron came to tell Pharaoh, let my people go, all right, he said, let my people go. Listen to what Pharaoh said. Pharaoh replied, Moses and Aaron, Exodus 5:4, why are you distracting the people from their task? Get back to work. Look, there are many of your people in the land, and you are stopping them from their work. See? It says that same day, Pharaoh sent this order to the Egyptian slave drivers and all the Israelite foremen who were working and making his kingdom great. Do not supply any more straw for the making of bricks. Make the people get it themselves. He made it harder on Jake. But still require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. They are lazy. That's why they are crying out. Let us go and offer sacrifices to our God. You see that? Load them down with more work, make them sweat. That will teach them to listen to lies, because here it is, the Lord sent a leader, and you know, Moses and Aaron. It said Aaron would be the prophet, you know, and now the Israelites are starting to hear these things as they're in their captivity, and they're starting to, you know, kind of rebel against Pharaoh. All right. And what did he call them? He called them lazy. It's not that the sentiment, especially about Judah, okay, that they're lazy. So the same thing that's happening over here in this modern day Egypt happened back then. All right. When you read the early chapters, you know, they were killing off the male Hebrew children. Today we have the 187 clinics, the ABO, or the abortion clinics, man. Fuck it. You know, excuse my French, but come on, you know, it gets to a point where you tiptoeing around. It's silly. Those clinics are in whose neighborhoods? And who leads the league in those things? All right. So-called black, all right, so-called Hispanic women. They lead the league in that field. Right? Getting those 187s, baby deletions, right? Well, the same thing is going on here in this modern day Egypt. We're being worn out, we're being oppressed. All right, but the thing is, Pharaoh, which the word Pharaoh, you know, I looked it up. Pa-ra-I, but it's of a Egyptian derivation. All right, great house, the common title of a king in Egypt. Well, who's the new Pharaoh? If we're in the new Egypt, all right, because it was Egypt, but then you had the Egyptian people, which were the sons of Ham, all right, who ruled that Egypt. Well, would not this new Egypt have a ruler and a nation of people that ruled it? Absolutely it would. And that is the biblical Edomites, because as we're going to be delivered out of this new Egypt, okay, let's get Joel 3, Joel the 3rd chapter. And we always get this because this chapter tells us about the nations being judged. Okay, this chapter talks about how Joel 3:1, for begin, behold, in those days at that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, bring all 12 tribes back together, and I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people. And this is how you know the name of the Lord. All right, when you look up this word Jehoshaphat, it's Yahweh's judgment. Okay, that's the name of the Most High. His judgment is getting ready to be set. And I will plead with them for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, have parted my land. When we read Revelation 11, did not the nations send gifts to one another and get rich off of us? Okay, that's written. Okay, as we were in that dead state, these nations didn't help us. Revelation 11:10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. Because they finally got the two prophets, the northern and southern kingdom, in a dead state where they wanted them. Joel 3:3, they have cast lots for my people and given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. See? And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? All right. And all the coast of Palestine. That's talking to you Hamites and you Arabs. All right. Who, pretty much partook in the sub-Saharan slave trade. All right. Where you, all right, along with even some of our own people, sold us to the so-called white man. Okay. Joel 3:6, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. The modern day Grecians are the Edomites. They're the ones who took that land. Okay, that you might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them up out of the place whither ye have sold them. See? And return your recompense on your own head. Let's get the book of the book of Baruch 4:32. Boom. Baruch 4:32. Start 30. Take good heart. And Baruch was Jeremiah's scribe. Okay, you can read about it when you read the book of Jeremiah. Baruch name comes up a lot because he was the one who scribed a lot for Jeremiah. All right. Take good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name shall comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. This is why you seeing bridges falling, plagues, homelessness, the food's messed up, the infrastructure's messed up. This place is being what? Plagued. It's miserable. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. See, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Another link to the Edomites. But let's get Joel again. Joel 3:7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and return your recompense on your own head. See? And I will sell your sons and daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, a people far off. So we're going to have slave trades. Okay, then it goes into what? War being prepared. See? And we know that war leads to what? The war that ends all war, which World War III, Armageddon, and our deliverance comes at that time. Okay? Judah will be blessed, man. Okay? And this is how it all is going to end, all right? As a matter of fact, let's start at 18. All right, it shall come to pass that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth, all right, of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim. So there's going to be nothing but the truth being spread through the four corners of the earth, all right, when we get established back in our holy land, all right? Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom a desolate wilderness. Edom shall be a desolation, desolation, and Edom a desolate wilderness. See, the final captivity is Egypt. All right? Edom shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood. All right? So that final captivity, which is Babylon the Great, we know is going to be a desolation. All we have to do is type in Babylon. And desolation. Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? How is Babylon becoming a desolation among the nations? All right. And the land shall tremble in sorrow for every purpose the Lord hath performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation and without an inhabitant. And this has not happened yet, because the physical landmass of ancient Babylon is over in the area of Iraq. People are still there. So this is speaking of something that's happening into the future, and it's talking about America. This is Babylon. As we can see, it's also called Egypt, the final captivity of the Israelites, where the Edomites, let's get Lamentations 4, rejoiced over us. And there's more. Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup shall also pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked. And that's happening now. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, the Israelites. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Daughter of Edom, daughter of Babylon, daughter of the Chaldeans. This is all fulfilled in the biblical Edomites. They are the rulers of this modern day Egypt, this modern day Babylon, this final captivity, which is all fulfilled also in the revival of the fourth beast, which is Rome. Okay? This is it. We're here. Okay? This is the modern day. Psalms 137. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. All right, they helped the Babylonians. Okay, and this is a prophecy. This is, all right, King David speaking. All right, whoever wrote this psalm speaking, I believe it's King David, before this happened. Okay? It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. All right? Or this could be a psalm, of one of the priests or something that was, added as a psalm. All right? But an experience of the captivity is what this chapter is called. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. We remembered our kingdom. All right? That's what this chapter is talking about. But when you get down to the end, it says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, all right, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So wait a minute. The children of Edom will pay through Babylon being destroyed. See? Now, within that captivity, okay, within this captivity, we have played the role of servants. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses. Here it is. The Edomites are supposed to be our servants, but they're on horses. And princes, the Israelites, walking as servants upon the earth. See, the Lord put us in a lower state and allowed our enemies to rule over us, which is fulfilled in the curses. Okay? Deuteronomy 28:43, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And it's not just Esau. All of the heathen pretty much are living on a high horse over the Israelites. They own the stores and businesses and infrastructure in your neighborhoods, not you, right? So to bring it all home, okay, the horse represents what? Okay? Let's look up this word horse. I've seen servants on horses. The horses represent him who was in a high position, who was in a position of authority. Sawas, all right? Shallow, swift horse, all right? And when you go into it, the way it's used in the scriptures, all right, is ultimately a ruler. So when you get the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse. All right, let's see what it means in the Greek. Another horse, hippos, a horse. All right, and when you read these, it's talking about power. Okay, there went out another horse that was red. See that? And we're going to link this in a minute. There went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. All right. And there was given unto him a great sword. Who was blessed with the sword in the Bible? The Edomites. Who was known as red in the Bible? The Edomites. And he is the one, all right, that is in this lofty position on a horse, on the high horse. Okay. Lofty in mind, lofty in possession. He's winning. And he took peace from the earth. See? So this red horse was given power, all right, but there's a rider on that horse. The rider on that horse is the Edomites. Now, when you get Ezekiel, the 14th chapter, all right, before we were exited, before Pharaoh was swallowed up in the water, check this out real quick. All right, and for you New Testament bashers, all right, it was the angel of the Lord that was sent to go before the camp of Israel. All right, before that great miracle of the swallowing up Pharaoh and them in the the Red Sea took place. All right. Yep, this is where Moses. Let's see here. Exodus 14:17, and I behold will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon his host, and upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen, and the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I have gotten honor upon Pharaoh and upon his chariots. So you have to understand what's getting ready to happen is getting ready to be way more powerful than what we're reading here. And the angel of the Lord, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came to pass that the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, there was a cloud of darkness to them, right? And you can keep reading it. But basically, as you keep reading, all right, what happened was Pharaoh and his army pursued after the Israelites. All right. And what happened was the Lord used Moses to stretch out his hand. All right. And the water drowned their asses, man. The Israelites walked over on dry land. All right. But Pharaoh and his army was drowned in those waters. All right. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the hosts of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them remained, and they all died in the water, man. Okay, but the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters, all right, were a wall unto them on the right hand and on the left. It was a miracle. All right. And the Lord saved, all right, although it was his angel he sent, he saved. It was the Lord that saved, all right, that day out of the hand of the Egyptians, all right. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore, and Israel saw the great work which Yahweh did. What was the great work? Him sending his angel. Just like when we get delivered out of this captivity, let's get Isaiah 19. It's the same concept. Isaiah 19 and 19. In that day there shall be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And it shall be a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh of the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. The altar is where we offer our body a living sacrifice. Okay, coming back to the Lord. And that's going to be for a sign and a witness to the Most High God, Yahweh. All right. For they shall cry unto Yahweh because of their oppressors, and he shall send them a savior, and a great one, and he shall deliver them. So it's going to be that same savior, that same angel is going to be sent to deliver us out of this new Egypt. But check this out. When you get the very next chapter in Exodus, the 15th chapter, after, Pharaoh and his army was drowned in the sea. All right, this is Exodus 15:1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto Yahweh, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have he thrown into the sea. See, the horse and his rider. See, did not we just read in Revelation, the 6th chapter, that there was power given unto a horse and rider that was synonymous with red? That's the Edomites, red all over. Okay, blessed with that sword. That's the Edomites. So the modern day Pharaoh, the modern day horse and his rider, all right, is Esau. And his, the people joined unto him, man. Okay, the horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. Okay, Miriam even got in on this song. The Lord is my strength and song. He has become my salvation. He is my power. I will prepare him an habitation. All right. My father's God, I will exalt him. All right. Yahweh is a man of war. All right. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts hath he cast into the sea. All right. His chosen captives are drowned in the Red Sea. So here it is. Moses and the Israelites are singing, rejoicing over the fall of their enemy. Is this racist? Or is Moses a racist? Okay, but as you keep reading, Miriam sang a solo. And she said the same thing. And Miriam answered them, sing ye unto the Lord, for the Lord have triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have he thrown into the sea. Okay. I believe even in this song, the Edomites were mentioned. All right. Because all of the nations that were around about, they heard and saw what happened. They heard about it and they were scared. Exodus 15:15. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. See that? So within this song, we're rejoicing, praising the Lord for what he did, delivering our people. But it's likened unto the horse and his rider. So the new horse and his rider, the new Pharaoh, is now the Edomites. Let's get Jeremiah 51:21. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces young man and the maid. See? And then it goes into what? Babylon. Okay, the Lord is going to make us a weapon when he gives us those new bodies. But here it says that with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. See? Zechariah 12:4. In that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment and his rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Okay. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength. All right. Because the Lord is going to restore us. Okay. He's going to restore us under Yahweh Shai. But again, the horse and his rider are going to be smitten with madness. You see? And when we get onto that chariot, just like we were singing here in Exodus the 15th chapter, when we get onto that chariot, when we get victory, we're going to do the same thing. Okay? Revelation 15:2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then that had gotten victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High God, all right, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, all right, Lord Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of the saints. So it's going to be the same thing. A nation of people who oppressed us will be taken down, along with all of the nations that are round about too, okay? And we are going to be on a chariot rejoicing, watching the fall of our enemy as we look down from the chariot, man. Delivered from that bitter captivity, okay? Which the word bitter, all right, we went into it at the Passover, okay? This word America means bitter, okay? That's why we eat the bitter herbs, okay? Exodus 1:14, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. Okay, the Israelites' lives became what? Bitter. There was a point where we were chilling in Egypt, but then what? It became bitter, right? The word bitter with hard bondage. The word bitter, all right, is what? Marar. All right, to be bitter. Now, when you go, let's go to Google real quick. Okay, let's go to Google. How to say bitter in Italian? Amara, amaro. See? In this place, America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. So the Lord knew what he was doing. This is that bitter captivity. Okay? Our lives were made bitter over here in the Americas. And another thing, Jeremiah 51, I believe. Or maybe 50. Maybe 51. 50, Jeremiah 50. Boom. Jeremiah 50:20. In those days and at that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for. All right. And there shall be none. And the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I serve. Meaning he's going to have mercy on us. Our sins are going to be covered under the blood of Yahushua. Go up against the land of Marathaim, even against it. All right. And what does this word Marathaim mean? Because he's talking about Babylon in this chapter. But again, you have to understand Babylon, Egypt, it goes under various different names, but Marathaim. All right. Double rebellion, another name for Babylon, which goes into what? Mara, bitter. So again, Jeremiah, okay, this place, Babylon, America, was really called by name. All right, Mara. All right, again, Amaro, Amara, bitter. All right, America was named after what? This guy, Amerigo Vespucci. All right. Amerigo, America. Okay, it was named after him. You can go into the history. All right. But Amerigo, name meaning. See what it says. They say home ruler, but no, it means bitter. All right. In its roots. All right. Like mare, all right, like nightmare. Mare means what? A bad time, a bad experience in the night. You know, and here I think is this a video I did? Yeah, whoa, this is a video I did a while back. So if you want more understanding on it, that'd be...
All right, all of it derives from the original tongue, all right, as we know.
Boom. So if you want to hear, I didn't even know this was my video. But a brother, you know, reloaded it, you know, it's 3 years ago. So yeah, if you want more understanding on that, you know, you can tap into that. Just look it up on YouTube. So all right. And the thing is, the root word that goes into it, all right, amara, you know, amara, it means bitter. All right. And ultimately he discovered, you know, he's basically the one whom this land was named after. All right, because he conquered it. He's one of the contemporaries of Christopher Columbus. So America is derived from Amerigo, which in the root of Amerigo is bitter. All right, so again, the Lord knew what he was doing. Okay. Amaro, which is where you get marar. All right, bitter. When you go into the true understanding of it, Jeremiah called this place America. You know, he knew it would be named America. All right, which goes back to bitter. Anyway, I just wanted to tap into that. All right, hopefully I'll edify on to the next. Shalom.